Hello guys, this is any game here. Today I'm going to give out rules of roleplay. If there are people out there that actually roleplay just like I do, but I'm not going to like tell people what website I roleplay on. This video is for role players that are either inexperienced or are having a hard time trying to function correctly into the roleplay community. So I'm just gonna give out basic rules for roleplay. The number one rule is god moding. God moding, by definition, I'm just gonna put it in my own words because. In my experience in the roleplay community, there's been a lot of changes and different definitions related to the word god moding. So I'm just going to give up my basic definition and how I see it. God moding is like a form, it's like some kind of concept where you make your character too invincible, unbeatable, godlike, and perfect, and there's no weakness to that character. Now, this bothers a majority of role players in the community, and because in my opinion, it's really annoying. I mean, you're doing a roleplay battle with someone, and they just make themselves just so unbeatable, and they're just outright arrogant. Trust me, this bothers a lot of role players, and it's up to the point where where people just won't roleplay with you. So if you god mode, trust me, nobody's gonna roleplay with you, especially roleplay fight you. So number two, auto hitting. This is kind of like some kind of form of god moding, or something similar to it. Auto hitting is where when you're in a roleplay battle, you start to do these excessive hits, like you just make the attacks connect to your opponent, and without them you're not really giving them a chance to react, and also auto hitting can lead to instant death. Personally, I don't really care much for auto hitting that much, but for a lot of role players, this kind of thing really bothers a lot of role players. I can say just almost the same way as god moding. So So when you're auto hitting, you got to give the person a chance to either dodge or to react to your attack, all that good stuff. Also, I'm just going to lead to another subject. Like I said, I don't really care for auto hitting, but there's one thing I don't really like is auto dodging. Dodging every single attack. I mean, realistically, blocking takes less effort than dodging. I mean, when you're dodging, you can't really just dodge every single attack. Nobody is perfect. Nobody is that fast enough to dodge every single attack. Even martial artists who fight each other, they get hit. Nobody is perfect. You can't just really make your character so perfect to the point where they are literally untouchable and you can't really lay a finger on them. To me, that's just not really fair. Take a hit or something like that. I mean, it's not instant kill because when I was in roleplay tournaments, I always run into these role players, who are doing these attacks, who just keep dodging every single attack I throw at them. And that's up to the point where I just decide, you know what, I'm just gonna have to just quit the tournament. Like, what's the use? Because in my personal view, roleplay fighting it's supposed to be fun. It's not supposed to be like, competitive and where people start to compete each other, like just see, oh, who's better at writing, who's better at this, who's better at that. Like, I don't like that. Part of my language, I do not like dick measuring contests in roleplay, because that just takes away the fun to roleplay, and it puts in unnecessary stress to me. When it comes to roleplay fighting, I want to make it fun, like a video game, for entertainment, not for competition. Now, I do expect, people to try to, at least have some form of literacy and proper grammar. I'm not a grammar Nazi, but I just want, people to at least type up a post where I can actually understand what they're saying and put in some form of detail. But besides the point, no auto hitting or dodging, because when you're just doing that kind of stuff, it just makes you. I mean, I don't know. In my opinion, it's really annoying. Number 3. Well, this is my own kind of rule. Metagaming. I don't really care now. I don't really care much on metagaming myself, but here's the thing: you can't really just assume you can't really just assume the character's power. Like, for example, let's just say you're role playing as a character, and then your character somehow knows the other person's superpowers and their techniques. I mean, this is fine to a certain extent in some role plays, but when it comes to a story, you can't just simply know the character just like that. Like, that's just, I mean, like, you're just making your character omniscient. That's kind of like a small form of god moding, but I mean, not really that big. Like I said, I don't really care much for metagaming, but you can't really just simply know everything about a character. Alright, my next point, number 4, is what's number 4 gonna be? OCs. Now, let me explain, simply put. If you're a role player who wants to be original and you want to make up your own character, a OC, aka a original character, I'm just gonna say this: make sure your character. I mean, if you love the fight role play battle or fight something like that, make sure to make your character decently balanced and not too overpowered, or just don't make them too powerful. Because I noticed that in many roleplay communities, I've noticed a lot of people who don't like, I'm not saying all role players, but a large amount of role players are really, shady around OCs. Because people have a lot of bad experiences where they encounter an OC role player whose character is unbeatable, unstoppable, and, overpowered. Because there are OCs who are, god moding. I mean, if you're gonna be an OC, just don't just add, I have 200 superpowers. Come on now. If you're gonna make an OC, try to be fair and show good sportsmanship in roleplay. Because I'll be honest, I do like OCs to a certain extent. I do accept them, even though I kind of prefer canon characters. I got nothing against OCs. But what I don't like is an OC that has a billion trillion superpowers. That to me is that's insane, man. You can't do that. You can't do that. Don't make your OCs so overpowered. That to me is just not right. Okay? And speaking of OCs, this leads to my final rule. Let's just say you make an OC that is pertaining to a canon universe of anime. Let's just say you Dragon Ball, for example, and you create a Dragon Ball OC character or something like that. Now, I don't mind those OCs. Those OCs are pretty cool. I mean, you're just adding in more characters to the verse, and it makes the verse, the whole anime verse very, it just helps it expand a bit more into the roleplay community. But what I don't like is how some OCs tend to tamper with the verse tire list. Like, for example, let's just say you make your character the strongest character of that verse, when technically in canon there's a character in there that is already the strongest. I mean, let me just simply put, Goku. I mean, Goku is technically the strongest Super Saiyan. But if you make a character that is like a Super Saiyan themselves, and they're way stronger than Goku, you can't really do that, because that's just against the rules of the whole you're just basically breaking the rules of the whole the verse tire thing. Because when you're making your character the strongest in that specific universe, you're just breaking the laws of that specific kind of universe. I mean, I don't know how else to put it in my own simple words for people to understand, but you're just basically breaking the rules of that anime universe. I mean, that's it. So anyway, that's all the rules I want to point out. I mean, if you're a role player and you're watching this, I hope this helps out, and I hope this helps, people, gain some sort of experience or insight, or even some guidance on how to function into the roleplay community. So if you got any questions, please comment below, and if you want more videos like this, please subscribe. Otherwise, I'm gonna see you guys in my next video. All right, ciao.